My friends are degenerates, but I never change them. Liars, cheats, and hypocrites. Not the time for
Wow, Reece.
Yeah.
Wow.
We made it.
The crowd sure is excited tonight, the in-studio audience.
It's because it's a special episode. It's 100th
100
episode.
episode. This is for all the people that thought that Aaron, Reece starting a podcast, this will never make it past.
Two more white boys making a podcast. What
Episode 3, episode 4, now baby, we're all the way to 100.
100.
Well, I got to bring the mood of the podcast down already because Reece, I'm very disappointed with you.
Why? What have I done? What have I done this time?
Just a few weeks ago at Cringips in July, our dear friend Emily, friend of the show, designed for you a beautiful poster of your hero Jeffrey Bezos.
Oh, jeez.
And I
know.
come into the room. I'm waiting to see Jeffrey Bezos' disembodied head staring back at me, his leathery alien face.
His circumcised foreskin of a head.
It's honestly disappointing, mate. The crowd, they're getting up and leaving.
I don't think you should have full control of the soundboard, I've got to say.
Oh, really?
I think there might be a coup at some
That's
point.
an unpopular opinion, Reece.
Oh, yeah. The D key or whatever is you're pressing really disagrees with that. Well, I mean, I do have it. It's in my bedroom. I need to I'm going to hang up over my bed so he can watch me.
If we can make a compromise, Reece, if we can make the thumbnail for today's episode, you holding up the poster. Do you think?
Yeah, all right.
The crowd support that
for the 100th episode.
Yeah, he's gonna do
it.
it.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
All right. So, Reece, you've had an interesting week. I guess we should say.
I have had an interesting week. I have a decent amount of money now. Well, not a decent amount, but I had a good windfall. I am now officially an escort, a male escort.
Is that really how this works? So I'm trying to understand it. Can you explain for the listeners at home? So as far as I understand, I heard the story. You sent me a message being like, "Hey Aaron, guess what? I got paid $500 to fuck 2 hookers in front of a horny Indian dude."
Yeah, that was basically the gist of it. Like, yeah, more or less. My friend, it's a good story for the pod, I thought. This is one I'm keeping in the bank.
For our 100th episode.
For our 100th episode, Reece is now officially a whore.
So, officially. He's just been unofficially a whore up until now.
I was before I was semi-pro, now I've gone full pro.
Yep.
So basically, I was at home, not really doing much. You know, it's like Monday. Actually, what day was it? I don't know. It was a couple of days ago. And my mate messaged me. I was just like, "Yo, I've got a client. She's a sex worker. I said, I've got a client, and he wants like a foursome with like another dude there." I was like,
"Oh, so he got involved, did he? He wasn't just watching."
Oh, he got he got involved a bit. Like, I mean, it's an interesting experience. I thought, I mean, how much? And she was like, it's 300 start with, and we stay for like longer and stuff, and you get extras and haggle a bit and so on, and basically take them for a ride, the hustle. And so I was like, all right, cool. So I quickly just like got ready, got an Uber, and like went to this dude's place, and apparently they'd already been at it for like 4 hours.
What? 4 hours?
4 hours. This dude and like my 2 friends. They'd been there for 4 hours, and I think they were just relieved to have someone to like tag in for them,
right?
And just like,
what is this guy, Superman or something?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe drugs were involved.
Can you describe this guy?
I went to his apartment, and it was like quite a sterile apartment in many ways. You know, there wasn't really much after the war.
Airbnb, you think maybe?
No, I don't think it was that. But like,
I guess the clean ones are the freakiest.
I wouldn't say he's exactly freaky. I think he was probably more easily encourageable.
Yeah, or a meth head. Meth heads usually they either have very clean houses.
He was not interesting enough to be a meth head. I don't.
So, but how do you explain the clean house and the 4 hours of fucking?
I think he was just like kind of boring and rich. I got a strong IT professional vibe from him. He was very shy. He wasn't really dressed too well. He was just like in a boxer, a t-shirt sort of thing. And
it sounds like someone I work with.
Oh boy. Well, I'm not going to your work anytime soon, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But so I arrived and everything. I was yeah, and they were like my two friends were just like in robes, and we're outside having like smoker break and everything. Then yeah, went inside, did the deed, I guess, for a few more hours.
A few more hours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was pretty funny actually because honestly, it is actually very difficult. Like I was not in any way aroused by the situation. Like I needed Viagra or something. I needed some.
Did you come prepared?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I don't have any bloody Viagra. I've never needed it before, but
Until this situation.
until I'm like having very platonic sex with like two of my friends and some like dude watching. So
So the dude was just watching.
he got involved a bit. We like.
Did he do any fucking?
Yeah. He was fucking one of them, and I was fucking the other one.
Okay.
Oh, you know how that thing in like Indian culture, like guys just like hold hands.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he was doing that a bit. We're just like holding hands, just like the bros,
Just the bros,
just the bros,
fucking some hoes
fucking
together.
some hoes with the bros. Yeah, holding hands and stuff, and like. I did go down on him a bit.
Oh yeah,
and,
nice.
I provided a bit of a service. I had a few rules, like no kissing me or anything, and no stuff down the back end of things. But like a bit of head, why not? It's all just like a puby mess, which I'm
not taking the best care of the garden.
No. Guys don't, to be honest. Most guys don't.
Oh, I do my best. I give it a trim,
Give it a little the trim of the hedges.
Because you don't wanna like shave it all off. That's I don't think that's attractive. I don't know.
Oh, that sort of plucked turkey look.
No, you don't want to go for that. But you trim
A
the
little bit of
hedges.
stubble,
Yeah.
like-
I don't know about the stubble. Like
Okay, well, not like
gets a bit
spiky.
A bit itchy.
I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the person you're with.
True.
But I've never gone
Because
down.
some people
with
like the pain.
this razor, but the stubble burn. Yeah.
Your cat is
Noggin, can you fuck off the chokery board or whatever it's called? He's trying to steal the cheese.
What a lovely chunky boy. We're talking about Reese's cat, by the way.
Noggins is our guest star for this 100th episode. Have you got anything to say, Noggin? Noggin. Oh, he's gone quiet. He's shy for the mic. But went to his place and everything, did the deed. It was very performative. Like as I say, I was not aroused at all. I needed Viagra or something. And he was like his English wasn't too great. He was like trying to instruct like orchestrate procedures, like direct things. Like, now you fuck her, you'll fuck her. I'm not gonna do an Indian accent.
Bit of a control freak.
Not so much a control freak, just like I'm not too sure if he knew exactly what he wanted, but he wanted something, and it involved lots and lots of.
Ooh, that's a deep one there. He's not sure what he wants, but he wants something.
Yeah.
Just hiring two female and one male hooker.
And
to get
honestly,
it done.
if you like bring some hookers over and are not too clear on what you want, then they'll just take you for a ride and start charge you all the extras and start bringing their friends over to capitalize on the situation as well as I was there doing.
Oh, so that's how it worked. It was like part of a grift.
Yeah, I have because like also he wanted to like get some weed as well, so my mate bought like 2 joints, and he ended up smoking
$25 per joint. That will be.
No, literally, he paid $50 to have one puff of one of the joints.
That's amazing. You guys are professionals.
I know. He was just a bit sort of like overwhelmed by everything, but like I guess that's when they're most financially vulnerable. One could
most
say.
susceptible to the grift.
Yeah. So yeah, basically we did the things and everything. God, I know why so many people in the sex trade smoke now, because it's the perfect excuse to like go have a break.
You mean smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, cigarettes.
Or crack? That as well?
That as well, but that's for different reasons. That's when you're doing like the 8-hour sort of shifts with like someone else who's on crack, and you're just like, oh, there's no way I can keep up.
The whole 8-hour ordeal. That's a full work day. Did he charge by the hour?
Yeah, he charged by the hour. But I think I'm not too sure how long they were there. I think they were there for like 4 or 5 hours before I got there, and I was there for like 2 hours extra.
So how much did he get paid?
I got like $500.
Hell yeah, $250 an hour.
Well, the thing is that I was supposed to be there for 2 hours, but we went for a cigarette break because I suddenly took up smoking in like that 5 minutes when
Smoko.
I need a smoko as well. Yeah, definitely. Never.
You just want to be alone with this this guy.
No, I don't want to be just like awkwardly waiting in the room with him.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so we snuck out to, well, not snuck out, but we went outside when he was like lying in his bed still, and we had a few cigarettes and chatted. A few minutes passed, appropriate amount of time. We went back inside. I went into the bedroom, opened the door, and he was just like passed out on the bed, just totally asleep. And I was like, oh shit, what do I do? I wasn't prepared for this in basic training.
Yeah.
So I went back to my friends like, hey, he's asleep, so what do we do? And they were like, okay, you get very, very quietly dressed, and then we sneak out. And we just say that we were there the whole time. Is what we do.
Okay, so did he do the paying? Did he pay?
Oh yeah, he already paid.
Oh, he paid in advance.
He paid in advance. Yeah.
Okay.
My friends, they're not gonna get like grifted back.
Yeah, no, just making sure. Also, is there a pimp involved?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
No, okay. I
they're
don't know
tough
much.
enough. They are their own.
Yeah.
pimp. Like
I thought you can't be a pimp and a prostitute too.
Well, I mean,
I guess you can.
I guess you can.
guess you
Yeah,
can.
I think that's a myth perpetuated by big pimp is.
Yeah, by the big pimp.
Yeah,
business,
they oh no, you definitely need a pimp.
Yeah.
It's like unions. You definitely need. But yeah, pimp busting. But
Pimp busting, yeah.
but yeah, so we just like snuck out really, just like getting dressed very quietly. As this guy was just like asleep next to us, just hoping. He
So
didn't
you
wake
get
up.
there, and he's like, "Oh yeah." So they paid in advance, right? He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll take the 6-hour package."
Well, I mean, I think they just like, I don't know the procedure, but all I know is I got my money, they got their money. And he had a good time, I guess. So good for him. He got what he paid for.
This is Monday, right?
It might have been Monday.
One of the days.
It was one of the days. It was one of the
So how'd you feel after?
Well, I went home, took some antibiotics, and cried in the shower. It was really fun. I told my dad about it.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I was like, "How does it feel knowing that your son is a whore?"
Oh, he knew.
Funny enough, he said that. That was his response. But,
Well, apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
oh, I don't want to think about that. Thank you. But
Dude,
yeah,
that's so fucking amazing.
It was pretty
dude.
fun. Like, it was the worst bit though was like it was just wholly performative and like sleeping with my friends. Like I couldn't.
So you didn't have to fuck him at all. You just gave him
No.
sucked him off a little bit.
Yeah, sucked it off a little bit.
Yeah, that kind of bit. That's not too bad.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. It's
Yeah.
the old pube floss.
So I was gonna ask you how was the pussy, but
Oh,
Probably,
I mean, I briefly entered a pussy, but like honestly, I just could not get hard at all.
oh, okay.
So like what we did was
So what was
we
your
just
role?
Pretended. Well, I mean, I just pretended.
really?
I was entirely like we were positioned that like she was like
he probably
I
wouldn't
was
notice
behind.
either. It sounds like
Oh no, he did not know.
Sounds
at
like he
all.
doesn't know much about sex.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't mean to presume. But like, yeah, I was literally just like one point, just like limply slapping against my friend from behind, and
Well,
just
he didn't
like
seem
really
to notice.
pretending.
Okay, did he? Was he busy fucking his own whore at the same time?
Exactly.
Right. So he's
yeah.
all right. He's
Yeah.
all right. I'm just making sure you gave quality control in the.
One thing that is interesting is how many like condoms you get through, like because every time
Yeah.
you switch any position or change anything, you have to switch condoms.
Is that
which just,
union regulation?
Like, well, it's just to keep safe. Like,
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, exactly. Like. It's like the smart thing to do. So, and the number of condoms you use just increases exponentially with the number of people involved. So, there's 2 people, then it's not that bad. 3 people, a bit more. But like 4 people, there was just this mountain of condoms by the bed. We're like, oh, Jesus, this is like disgusting.
That guy must be so proud, though.
I guess. I have no idea what was going through his head when he woke up and just found we'd like left and this
They're
huge
probably
pile of
like,
condoms.
oh yes, another
Like,
6.
yes, I did it.
Yeah.
I did the sex. I held hands with my friend while we did the sex.
Have you heard anything back from him since?
Why would I hear anything back from
Oh,
him?
I don't know. Maybe he's your best friend, isn't he? Held hands.
I don't even know his name. He's just a John. He's just another dick.
Just another John.
Just another John.
So is this the first, but definitely not the last of your adult?
I mean, I would be
career?
open to more because it was a really good payday. And honestly, I've had worse jobs.
Yeah.
I've had jobs which are more boring than that. Like this
Well,
was
like the thing is, like, so you only had to fuck, like, well, you went down on him a little bit, but like you only had to fuck your friends, right? You weren't fucking any randoms, so you actually got a really good deal, to be honest.
yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
Like,
these other hookers, they had to fuck the dude, but
Yeah, I know.
You just have to
They're the
hold his
ones who are
hand.
taking the brunt of it.
Yeah.
I'm just the cherry on top. Just hold his hand, suck off a little bit. Like I gave him like seductive looks and everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was playing it up a bit. He had like this big mirror set up around his room, so I was.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's pretty cool. I was giving myself like the old
he must be a regular then if he's
Yeah.
got the mirror set up.
Yeah, it was very like American Psycho. Like, I had a few moments like that, just looking at myself in the
So
mirror.
where was this apartment, by the way?
I was just in the city.
Yeah, CBD.
CBD, yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty high up. It was a nice view actually. It was a good little place, but
Bit of a corporate psychopath type, this guy.
no, there's nothing psychopathic about him. He was
Oh,
just
okay.
like,
It's just a corporate beta male then, maybe?
yeah, I would put that. I'd put that. I mean,
Just spent all his, formative years going to college, learning and getting degrees, and now he's finally living the dream, working 80 hours a week for $100 an hour so he can pay hookers to fuck each other in front of his room of mirrors.
yeah,
Living the dream.
for like $1.5 grand. Like, yeah, it really mounts up when you're booking more people. That's what I learned. Like big numbers involved. So he was obviously doing pretty well for himself. But I mean,
It'd probably be even more than that because, so you got paid $500 for 2 hours, but the girls were there for like 7 hours, weren't they?
something like that. Maybe I'm not too sure. I mean, it's not my business. I mean.
Just like
In a way, they are the pimp of me.
Yeah,
like, my friend is my pimp. So I am just the hoe who gets given the money, and I'm told that's the correct
You
amount.
dirty hoe. Yeah.
Yes, this is how much you're owed, Reece. I'm like, oh, okay, if you'll say so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all right. I'll do it again. It was
Fuck
pretty
yeah,
funny.
dude. So if any other listeners want to hit up Reece, where can they find you?
Oh, I need to set up my socials for that.
What's your prostitute name?
Well, it's Tony.
Tony Monroe?
Yeah, well, the Monroe bit I haven't added yet, but like, yeah, just Tony.
Tony Monroe. I love it.
Like, you can go a long way without like using someone else's name. That was my biggest fear, is like accidentally doxing my friends by using their real name instead of their work name. Like, I was like repeating myself.
But it's okay to dox yourself. In front of our audience of 100 million podcast listeners.
yeah. The 100th episode, you know, this is the big one. So
Yeah.
everyone's tuning in for the stories of when Reece was a hoe.
Yeah. I think you're the only person I've ever met that's been paid to fuck a hooker.
Oh, I mean, no, because hookers fuck each other sometimes, you know.
But you're true.
How many? Do you know any like male escorts or like?
I don't know. The only escorts I know, Reece, are within your circle. I don't.
Just my friends.
Yeah. No, I have normal sex.
What? What's that?
I had some normal sex last week.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, good for me, right? It's pretty good to get some normal sex, you know? Well, I guess it wasn't that normal. It was more normal than your sex. So, the story...
That's not saying much, dude.
So, it was a Hinge girl, and Hinge girls are always the freakiest, you know?
What's Hinge again? Is it
It's like,
dating
it's
apps?
another one of these dating apps, but like, you know, Tinder girls is like the normies, right? And you just get like, I'm not like most girls, you know?
Yeah, so that's what
I
you do,
like
right?
four-wheel driving and the footy, and it's like,
Oh, no.
bitch. If I'll just hang out with my bros if I wanted to go forward driving.
And
and
more
watch
like one of
footy.
the guys?
Yeah. Well, I hang out with the guys, bitch. So she is in a long-term relationship with an asexual man.
Oh, I see.
So she just fucks dudes from the internet, which is pretty good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I was one of those dudes.
The guy knows?
Yeah, the guy knows apparently. Well, she told me. I mean, I don't really care, so he's not my boyfriend, but
Fair enough. I mean,
But, yeah.
I mean, well, good for them. If they have found a stable dynamic, then like that's a very sensible solution. To
I love
it.
I was thinking about it. It's like they have all these conservatives online calling about the death of Western culture, about how every man these days is a cuckold, and you got the beta bucks and alpha fucks. So it feels really good to be in the other end of that, you know. I was
once.
the alpha fuck. Yeah,
It makes
Well,
a nice change,
it
doesn't it?
is. I'm moving on up in the world, Reece. I've made
Moving
it.
up the Greek alphabet.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, just wait until I'll put that on my dating bio as our certified alpha male.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an interesting like realm. Like, I think the idea of modern relationships that are adapting and changing in a way that like are basically they're more practical solutions to things. Like,
It's
if
true.
you are asexual, then and you're dating someone, then
Yeah, and this is better than just like tricking yourself into thinking that like, you know, you guys are in love and like, I don't know,
Yeah,
forcing
exactly.
yourself to fuck her and then
Exactly.
doing that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the classic trope of like closeted men, like closeted boomers who just like marry their wife because like had the nuclear family and everything. And they think that's like what it is, but really deep down they're just like so unsatisfied, and that just manifests in really destructive ways.
In alcoholism and everything.
Just like a bit of child abuse, because why not?
Why the fuck not?
Why not? Just add it onto the list.
My son won't be gay. That's the worst thing you could be.
No, not the gays.
Son, I didn't spend my entire life tricking myself into not being gay to raise a gay son.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's literally that.
Yeah.
Like, and the fear of like, oh, you know, if we don't have gay people on TV, then maybe our children will become gay and realize that it's okay to come out. It's like, yeah, sure.
If all it takes is
children.
For someone on TV to like, oh shit, this guy's tricking people into thinking they're gay. Doesn't everyone feel this way?
It's like, oh no, I saw a man kissing and now I'm confused. We must stop this for the children.
For the children.
For the children. We can't have the children confused.
It seems like they're always they're trying to hold on to something, right? And the pain comes into holding on to what was, I don't know, even if it was never there, like the perception of this was what it was and now we're losing it. Because like, I mean, this girl was fine and it seems like her boyfriend was fine and they don't give a fuck. Like they might be made fun of by society like us.
Yeah.
We might be making fun of them, but
well, I mean, we're not really making fun. We're congratulating
No, I think
them.
it's virtuous, to be honest. Like they're being real to themselves.
We're making fun of ourselves, and we moved up in the world from
from beta cuckoldry to alpha fuckholdry.
Yeah, from like semi-professional hoe to
Professional hoe.
I know. Yeah, I'm actually getting paid for my skills.
Yeah,
it's all paying off.
Professional SoundCloud rapper, your boy Alaska, and professional hoe, Tony Monroe.
Oh fuck! It rhymes and everything. It's too good. God damn. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a fun experience. Like, I find it interesting, like performative sex like that, because honestly, like I've had a lot of sex where I'm like not into it, but
haven't we all?
I just like act.
Yeah,
it's like I want to make sure the other person have a good time. And like I'm getting paid for this person to enjoy themselves, so yeah, I'm going to play it up.
Smile for the customers, honey.
Yeah, exactly. You got to do that. That's the job. And yeah, I've had worse jobs. I've had more boring jobs. You know, like filming football games and so on is kind of boring for me. Like 2 hours of just sitting there in a shed with a camera and just like, yeah,
amateur football games.
Yeah,
no less.
Yeah,
I can imagine filming like a professional where people are actually good at football. You know, that could be fun.
Well, I mean, if you're filming like a big professional game, like a stadium or something, then you're part of a team, and then you have like really good lenses and equipment. It'd just be fun to play with all the equipment.
Yeah,
but, like filming amateur games and like there's a lot of filming gigs and stuff that like they don't even pay that well, but comparatively, like they pay well. And I thought, oh yeah, this is an all right gig and everything, but like I can just go and pretend to have sex for an hour and get like, you know, I've got a new pair of sneakers.
You found a grift. You found a grift. My whole working career, Reece, has been trying to find grifts. That's like how I be. I was doing the Centrelink grift for a while. That's a pretty common grift. That's like the base level grift. Then I started the drug dealing grift. Yeah. By far like the most profitable grift of my life.
Yeah, I was like starting to like think, oh yeah, I could see why like it's attractive to do the expensive grifts, even the high risk ones. Just like, yeah, this could be good.
But now I've just got the corporate office grift at our unnamed corporation. You know,
at which point are you going to admit it's not actually a grift? That you're just now an office drone?
No, it's totally a grift, man. I do no work. It's amazing. Like, there was no lie, no word of a joke. There was a solid 3 weeks where I actually did nothing. And I'm not even like, so my job is to answer calls and to process data. That's basically what I do, but I work the night shift. So like we get like maybe one call an hour.
Wow.
Because no one knows we're open, and like, which is great. Don't fucking call me.
Yeah, don't advertise that fact.
Don't fucking call me. I swear to God, if someone calls me at my job. No,
how many people are there in the office then just like manning deadlines?
Like 10, about 10. But like it's also hella inefficient. There are lines that are like bang, 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 non-stop call, and doing the same calls as me, but then I just get nothing. And so I'm not gonna complain. Oh, hey boss, can you please give me some more work?
Direct some more to my way. Yeah,
and so we also like process data, and so I do that. I just process data and listen to music and podcasts and whatever, which is like the best grift I've ever had. Yeah. But then there was an entire 3 weeks where there was no data. So I literally I clocked in $40 an hour, looked out the window for 5 hours, then I went home. That was amazing.
Honestly, I would rather like just be unemployed because like that would like kill my soul.
Nah, man, this is fuel for my soul. This is
something
fuel for
to
my soul.
engage me.
See, that's your problem, Reece. People go to work looking for a sense of fulfillment, but you're barking up the wrong tree. There's no fulfillment to be had at the corporate office tower.
It's not so much fulfillment; it's just distraction.
Oh yeah, I listen to music. I listen to podcasts. What I did actually is I started like a running commentary of my thoughts on Facebook Messenger. I just sent it to myself. Like, work through a lot of
So like a journal sort of thing.
Yeah, a little bit like like automatic writing journal. But like what I noticed is like the boomers can't fucking handle it. They went fucking crazy. Like they were like, oh sir, I don't have any work. Can you give me some work? And the boss doesn't give a fuck. He was like, oh yeah, I'll ask my boss. I'll ask my boss.
Yeah, just
he
pass
can
it
ask
up.
his boss if you can get some work to do. And they were like pulling their fingernails out. Like there was this one bitch there. She was like middle-aged. She just like bitching about everyone else at the office and her family and like, oh, my husband this, my husband that. This is from how fucking bored.
Just trying to like give herself some.
Yeah, and I'm like, just listen to headphones, and she's like, oh, I couldn't do that at work. It's unprofessional. It's like,
Oh yeah, no one cares about that.
No one's
provided
judging
you're
you
doing the
except
job that
yourself.
you are given, then
which is absolutely nothing.
Yeah, precisely.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess it's just as like probably a different like cultural thing, like a different work environment that they're.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's like, well, like for these people, I think the problem is that like they this is their only thing in life. They don't have a podcast with 100 episodes and 100 million viewers.
No. They don't have that great sense of fulfillment that this brings.
That a podcast
the spiritual enlightenment.
Nah, all they have is they go home to their shitty family, then they come to work at the shitty job where they sit around and get paid to do nothing. And it's like, that's a you problem.
Be repressed homosexuals.
Yeah, and be repressed homosexual, yes. like, I mean, you could just be openly gay.
Exactly. Just come out.
Just listen to some gay music, listen to some Lady Gaga while you get paid to do nothing. Like, there are people that have to work for a living. I mean, like, how are lucky stars?
Yeah, the people with actual jobs.
Yeah.
But it was. Oh, speaking of jobs.
Speaking of grifters,
yeah, there's some tea, some
Spill it.
drama.
Spill it.
Basically, from what I could gather, yeah, very quick on the draw there. All right, that one's pretty loud. We might have to refine some of these.
What? I didn't hear you. What'd you say, Reece?
Well, that one. Anyway, so I can see your finger hovering on it.
Anyway, go on.
All right, so
Go on.
just making sure. Hey, stop it. Basically, bit of goss, bit of tea in the photography field. This dude who is probably like one of the biggest names in like my area of work, like boudoir photography and so on.
Smart photography. Is that what it is?
No, smart photography.
Smart photography, right?
Smart photography. Oh,
Yeah.
with a U.
Yeah, we don't
I
speak
guess-
French, Reece.
I guess kind of like.
We don't speak French.
Well, I'd like to say boudoir because it's not just for smutty purposes.
So, what is? Can you describe boudoir for the uncultured among us?
Oh, like lingerie photos and so on. I mean, a lot of my clients are like people with OnlyFans, sex workers.
So
and
smart.
on. Yeah, but there are people who just want some attractive
artistic.
photos of themselves.
All right,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
exactly.
They just want smart of themselves.
You're including your sister in this, by the way. Remember, I did shoot for her. Yeah, that's what I thought. Press the cotton. Yeah. So
Maybe next time I'll let you do the buttons,
reconsider
Reece.
the adjective smart because I think
Right.
boudoir is a better suiting. But yeah, boudoir photography and so I do like a lot of that sort of work and he does a lot of that as well. Frank, there's like a few photographers that do that, and yeah, he from what I can gather leaked nudes of his
Ooh.
ex. Yeah,
Ooh.
bit of a bad one.
Yeah.
And he tried to palm it off as being a mistake, being an error.
As an error.
Yeah, as an error. Yeah.
Who the fuck does that?
Well, okay, so basically, like the full story is that he also runs like sex parties and so on.
Oh,
and,
great.
Yeah, like exclusive sex parties. It's like 20 to 30-year-olds only, hot people only sort of thing, which usually are a bit wanky in like concept. I've never actually been to any of his, but
Just the other sex parties.
just the other ones.
Just the ones for cool people.
Yeah. So but yeah, and he was doing photography at one of these parties. I think there's a couple people who own it, but yeah. So he did photography there, and he was in one of the playrooms, as they're called. Which honestly, as a photographer, you should not be in. Like you shouldn't be in a room with people fucking next to you while you're holding your camera.
Oh, is that just bad for the equipment?
Oh, I mean,
Possibly.
the humidity in the air. Yeah, no, it's just bad. Like if someone's fucking, they don't want a camera like swinging around near them. You know, if they're doing something.
I guess I don't know much of the logistics of pornography, but isn't that like most pornography?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that everybody wants to be a porn star. Like,
okay.
Yeah, like
So wait,
it's just like regular, like regular people, not
Oh,
regular,
right. Oh,
but
this
they're
is
just,
so this is at the sex party, just like two
this
randoms.
is at the sex party. Yeah,
Just trying to have a shameful hidden from the world sex.
yeah. Basically, they're doing all their
Yeah.
shameful, degenerate stuff, which is all well and good and all fun. And
Yeah, we love degenerates.
yeah, exactly. We like
So this show is for degenerates by degenerates.
Yeah. And yeah, he took a photo of this some people in one of the rooms, and there was like I think it was his ex or is a girl in the background, naked having sex. And I didn't see the photo because I'm not gonna like fucking perv on that sort of shit. And yeah, but he then developed the photo and everything, and then posted it on the album that he uploaded to the website for this particular society. And it's supposed to be private photos, like only shared with event members, you know, which is fair enough. But like he posted it on a website which you didn't need to log in or anything in order to access it. So
Bit of a privacy.
yeah,
error.
bit of a privacy issue. And not just that, but like she specifically said, don't include me in any of the photos or anything.
Yeah.
And then he includes a picture of her just like naked in the background. And he made an official statement about it on the society page.
Ooh, a big
as
mistake.
the society himself, like using
mistake.
the account of the society, saying that like, oh, so this is what happened, this girl here. And he doxed her as well.
Oh,
He said her like real name and also her like alias that she uses. Yeah, big boo for that one. The audience hate that one.
the audience hate this
The audience
guy.
hate that one. He said made this really big post saying like, well, what happened was this. So she contacted me at this point saying that and because like she emailed him to like say, hey, you posted this picture, can you please take it down? It took him 3 days to get around to doing it.
Yeah.
So it's 3 days that this was on there. And during that time, she naturally freaked the fuck out and contacted like for legal advice, like asked for legal advice.
Really,
and
yeah.
things like that. As you
there-
were before you eventually took it down.
Are there like professional sex work legal advisors?
Probably.
Yeah, I bet there would be.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, it is like law. Like you can't leak people's nudes. And
No,
shit. Like, that's
no.
yeah, that's like part of like common law, and yeah. So basically, yeah, and he made this like big post saying that, oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't see it in the background of the picture, and I know as a photographer, you see everything in the background of your pictures, like. When you get it up on like your screen and everything, and you're twiddling with the shadow levels and everything, you know exactly what's happening in the back. You don't miss anything. You certainly don't miss your ex having sex in the background.
It was his ex?
I believe it. I think it was.
Ooh,
That's
juicy.
unverified. That's unverified. But I think it was like his ex. Yeah. And so like it just seems like a really big like. Well, that's just fucked up. Like
Yeah.
you just don't do that. So yeah, and it was just like a total lie. Like the thing that really got me is like it was just like he was lying about and using people's ignorance of the photographic process and the editing process to basically say, oh, it was just an honest mistake sort of thing. And people were commenting saying, oh, I've only ever had good experiences. Like my friends, like people I consider as friends were commenting saying, I've only ever had good experiences there. And yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, I really love the photographer. He's like a really great guy and everything. I never had anything bad happen. And I'm just like, dude, you're only sucking up to him because you want to keep getting invited to these parties and he takes hot pictures of you. Like literally. Like the only people sticking
So
up
these
for
are some
that-
female simps in the ecosystem.
a couple guy simps, you know.
Yeah.
They all like those parties. They don't want to not be invited to them. But yeah,
Yep.
they're literally just simping just to like fucking keep getting good photos of themselves and keep getting invited to parties. Because if you looked at the facts of it, it was just like not good. And yeah, he doxed her on the original post. Then he like went back and edited it quite poorly and replaced her name with redacted all across it. Apart from a few instances where he missed it. And you can still go to the edit history and see who the original names, you know? I mean, and the photos are up there for like 3 days of like this nude woman. And
So this is ongoing drama, isn't it, Reece?
very ongoing. Well, I mean, I'm not too sure it's resolving now. I think like the guy who actually like owns the events, he like was in France and he's flying back now and stuff. I'm not too sure. I'm not part of that society. And since I've come out publicly against it, I probably won't be part of that society. So no crazy sex parties in mansions for me. I'll have to start my own.
Oh.
What a shame.
Yeah, start your own. I'll be around. I'll do the entertainment or the musical entertainment. You know,
the DJ.
I'll be the MC.
The MC of the
Yeah, the
night.
MC. Yeah, on the mic. We can have like an open mic night. It'd be great. Why the fuck not?
I mean, yeah, all right. I'll see how that goes down.
Yeah, don't like sex freaks like hip hop music. Is there a crossover?
I'm not too sure. I think the thing is, it's not necessarily like exclusive to any particular aesthetic or ideology or anything. Like you meet these people at parties and you get to know them very intimately and physically, and then you're talking to them like in a casual setting, and they just casually drop like, "Oh yeah, so I'm like, you know, fascism is an interesting political doctrine. Maybe we should analyze it a bit more."
Dude,
And
you've got to
it's like,
invite me to these parties, Reece. I want to hang out with these fascist degenerates. That's fucking awesome.
Not all of them are fascists. Like some of them are
that's
fine, but you
awesome.
just like talk to them, and just realize, wow, this is like.
Because I always had this idea in my head that any political extremists were always incels. You know, that's just, you know, because like, I mean, anybody.
Everyone likes it. The only requirements really is that you're like hot and confident enough to be able to pull it off.
I just didn't know that any fascists fucked. That's all, you know.
I mean, they're not just like there's all sorts. That's like an example of there's just all sorts of varieties of people where you talk to them and you're just like, wow, you're actually like a diehard born again like Christian conservative. And you go to these sex
fuck
parties,
yeah.
or
I
you
guess
talk to these people
I guess I
and
got to
they're like,
reevaluate my maybe it's a double horseshoe theory. Like the more extremist you are, the more likely you are to either be an incel or a giga chad.
I just think there's no overlap between people who like sex and orgies and people who have like political leanings. Like it doesn't
it's just
mean
all
that,
over the picture.
yeah, it's like it's a very common base primal sort of like desire. And so yeah, a lot of people of all walks of life just like end up these all you need to do is be hot enough that you can like not be too weird or anything. And even then, if you're a nice person, you can get by pretty well.
Yeah. No,
So-
I still want to be invited to these sex parties, Reece.
No.
After how
I
many
feel it'll
years
be
of being your friend?
awkward.
Well, then,
I
like,
don't want you to watch me fuck.
well, then I don't have to. We can like fuck like ass to ass, so you don't have to look. You know, no mirrors. We can like I'll just high five you from behind.
We'll hold hands like some Indian bros.
Nah, bro, no homo, no homo,
No homo,
no
no.
homo.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel it. I
We can
just
kiss,
don't
but
like.
we can't hold hands.
Hey, no kissing unless you're paying extra. Thanks. I feel that like it just like there's some areas in my life I just don't like crossing over too much, even though everyone's aware of them. It would just be like weird having it in person, I guess. You know?
Oh, but like you'll only be weird the first time. You can think of like the years we could
Why
have.
are you so interested in watching me fuck?
I don't. You're projecting that. I'm not going to this party to watch you fuck. I'm sorry to burst your bubble here, mate.
All right.
I'm going here for my own sexual pleasure.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we'll work
You're not
something
the main
out.
attraction here, is.
We'll talk about this off air.
Yeah, right. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Noggin. Our special guest is just being very, very quiet.
We shoot him away from the salami.
Yeah, now he's just being indignant. Little motherfucker.
Can you tell us why it is our salami, the meat of choice today?
Oh, why salami? Because I was, it's quite funny. I was looking up just like weird shit to talk about.
Oh, yeah?
And there is this company called Bite Labs.
Bite
And
Labs.
From what I can gather, they take like, you know, those stem cell meats and stuff. So they,
Yeah?
they grow stem cell meats, except the stem cells that they use are from people, from celebrities. So they basically grow like artificial, fake celebrity meats that you can eat. Yeah, you've never experienced celebrities like this.
Wow.
So yeah, that's they got like a.
And they say capitalism never did anything right. They say that white people have no culture.
Thing is, I don't think anyone's actually agreed. Like, no celebrities have agreed to be turned into salami yet. But
I find that really hard to believe. Like, out of all the celebrities, you're telling me that no one wants to be salami?
I know. I think there must be some, but like they've got a few lists of like tweet at your favorite celebrities.
I bet Matthew McConaughey would be salami. He's quite a weirdo.
Well, the ones that they're trying to get, from what I can gather, because they've got like a page here of like celebrities, and they've got like a call to action where you can just tweet them directly and tell them to donate their meat to.
Oh,
so like, yeah, I don't know if they have any celebrities on board yet, but
Joe Rogan salami.
Oh, that would be pretty good, actually. I imagine so.
Like, I mean, I guess if you have to choose, I reckon the Joe Rogan salami might be of a higher quality than the Gina Rinehart salami.
Ooh. Well, the Gina Rinehart one would be all marbly, you know.
I think Gina Rinehart is already 90% salami. Like, she's already there.
Well, I'll hit some names at you, because I've got the list up here. So, would you tweet these people in order to ask to eat them?
Mm-hmm.
James Franco.
Yeah, I'll tweet James Franco.
All right, we got Jennifer Lawrence.
No, like, I mean,
you wouldn't eat Jennifer Lawrence.
No, so it's okay if it's like a bro, you know. You can tweet at a bro, but
it's too weird if it's
Jennifer Lawrence.
A girl.
Now it's like, you know, that's kind of pervy.
What about Kanye? Kanye's on here.
No. Okay. So like James Franco, I feel like has like enough mental capability about him where he can like make an informed decision about if he wants to be salami.
You think that?
But
Kanye
I feel like Kanye like is the sort of guy that could be grifted into becoming salami. Like maybe he goes like $100 million in debt again, and they're like, Kanye, you got one way out.
Kanye, I knew you'd come crawling back.
Martin Shkreli, right? Just Martin Shkreli funding the Kanye
what about
salami.
this one? Ellen DeGeneres.
Fuck off! No, Ellen DeGeneres. I would just like as long as we can kill her to turn her into salami, then I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't eat Ellen DeGeneres.
No, I wouldn't eat her. I just do it out of principle.
Just eat the rich. This is very literal eating the rich.
Oh yeah, good point.
They don't have anyone like they're always like pretty like apart from, you know, Ellen DeGeneres arguably, but they're always like well-groomed people. They're good-looking people. You know, you don't get like Philip Seymour Hoffman salami
or
like
I don't know. Kanye West has seen better days.
Not in this picture they have of him. He's got the shades on and nice buzz.
It's like Kanye from 2007. The old Kanye.
He looks a bit like a Funko Pop, not gonna lie.
Fucking Funko Pops. Oh yeah, no, that's like some 808s and Heartbreaks era Kanye. Now man's put on weight.
Yeah.
That's like 12 years ago.
The divorce
Kanye.
pounds.
Yeah. They're the fatherhood pounds.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's why we're eating salami today. Unfortunately, this is just
regular old pig salami, I'm sure.
Which I'm not actually that
like civilized
for eating.
human
I don't
beings.
really like eating.
I mean, it is. Sorry to be a hater, but the salami is not of the highest quality.
Yeah.
I feel bad now.
There's some prosciutto there.
The crowd is booing me.
It's fine. It's not my salami, so I'm not too fast. Like insult.
Would you be insulted if we made salami out of you and it was bad? Reece, this salami is subpar.
Well,
too degenerate.
Thinking about it, like, or shouldn't if you just because like the lifestyle is what gives them the marbling, the texture, and like the variation. If you're just eating, I don't think you'd be able to tell celebrity salami apart. Really, it would all just be because it's about the lifestyle. You don't get that in a lab. You know, you're not going to get the trace amounts of all the cocaine that.
No, that's true. It's just going to be the stem cells. It's just going to be. Yeah. Actually, this sucks.
So what's the point? Yeah.
Yeah, this sucks. Fuck this.
This is just capitalism gone wrong again.
Yeah, this is just merch. You're just buying merch from a celebrity.
Yeah, salami merch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's should we start thinking about merch?
Yeah, we'll just buy some salami of the degenerate salami.
Yeah. We could be the first pod that has like feet pics as our merch.
Yeah, I'm down.
There once was a man who'd had no sleep. He'd been up 6 days on methamphetamine. The voices grew loud through the blinds he'd creep. Paranoia is starting to grow. Soon will the shadow men come, probably while he's digging through the carpet for crumbs. One day when the tweaking is done, off to bed he'll go.
So there's an elephant in the room when
yeah?
it comes to internet culture.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure you know what we're talking about. Certain
I've heard.
mother friender. So
Not
tell me,
friend of
Reece.
the
Tell me,
pod.
Reece. Not a friend of the pod. No, we Chris Chan officially cancelled from the Degenerates podcast.
Yeah, we were fine with
we're
everything
degenerates,
else,
but we're not
he's,
that
he's
degenerate.
too degenerate.
Too
Wait,
degenerate.
hang on. It's because didn't Chris Can come out as trans?
Oh, okay. And this is a whole thing.
Yeah.
No.
'cause,
So
I mean, I
I do think it's important to talk about this because I'm
gonna check the Chris Chan wiki.
No, so I don't refer to Chris Chan by Christine because I believe that this whole trans saga is really like some really sick and degenerate people who are just like for their own sort of like trolling pleasure and sexual gratification wanted to convince this mentally ill man that he was a transsexual woman. You know, just because like. You have to understand that the people that hang around with Chris, like the people in his circle, are like equally as fucked up as his, and they may not be as famous as him, but they are still like if you look at these sort of people that are in his chat rooms.
So you don't think he's like legitimately?
No, I don't
trans
believe
or
so.
anything?
No, like for the entire time when before this trans
He was
saga
bullied
started.
into it.
Yeah, he was bullied into it. Like he was, it's like a straight guy, actually like very homophobic and very anti-trans, you know, but in a kind of like Christian conservative way, where he was never like, you know, like obviously closeted, just like kind of like oblivious and like always, you know, just like as weird as he is, a very male type person and always looking for like pussy. That was like basically like why he became popular on the internet. Then then these trolls got a hand of him and it was the ideas guys, if you care about your Chris Chan law.
I'm looking at the wiki page now on the Chris Chan.
And
Wikipedia page
even
on transgenderism.
after his so-called transition, his personality didn't really change. Obviously, it got more deranged as like these people like tapped further and further into this already mentally like handicapped man's brain to like make him gaslight him into believe things that didn't exist, and part of that was the trans thing. But even after that, he was still like, you know, like after the pussy, like it was very, you know.
Oh, I mean, you can be a trans lesbian, of course.
You can, but I just don't see Chris Chan as that. I think that this is someone who has been gone down a been led down a very dark path.
Entirely
and,
gaslit, basically.
Yeah, entirely gaslit. By like the only people that would give him time of day are people that are making fun of him, and I think that does something to someone. Where like that he would do anything to fit in with his group, regardless of how deranged this group is. And I'm gonna get hate from this, but like this is just my opinion as like. I don't know, someone that's followed Chris Chan for a while, which is I don't know, embarrassing. you could
Just
say
a bit.
just a bit embarrassing. But I honestly think that it's quite well. I think every part of his life is quite sad. But can I ask you, Reece, what was your first introduction to Christian Weston Chandler? How did you first hear about
probably
this?
like Cringe Channel.
Yeah.
I like the old school Cringe Channel. Like I'm not too sure if it's like still up or anything, but there's some classic vids on there. And he popped up once or twice, but I never got too invested.
I
in
got
the
so
drama
invested,
or
man. I got like
I can see that.
It was fascinating. Everyone that knows me knows that I'm fascinated with internet weirdos, and when it comes to internet weirdos, Chris Chan is the pinnacle. And I wanted to discuss this from oh yeah, by the way, he fucked his mum. In case anybody didn't know, that's what we're talking about. That's the elephant in the room. He fucked his mum. His entire internet career has been trying to find a boyfriend-free girl, going on increasingly just cringeworthy ways of like trying to attract a woman, but like meanwhile being.
And he just looked a bit closer to home, you know.
Yeah, the girl he wanted was
in front
right
of him
down.
all along.
And what I want to like analyze this from a true crime perspective because this is.
I know nothing about the case, if we can call it that, or anything.
Well, there's not really much to know. It's pretty cut and dry. Like obviously, there's like it's like. More information's coming out about the trolls that surround Chris that like maybe they put him up to this or maybe that like they were like involved in like grooming him to think that this was a good idea. But even so, it was, you know, you can't blame anyone else for this. This was his own decision. And but one thing that's interesting about Chris is that I want to talk about this from a true crime perspective because if you look at true crime all through history, it's all through history, even since it began.
the announcement that we are transitioning into a true crime podcast?
Nah, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. Nah, it's always it's not necessarily factual, and it's not necessarily like displaying the crimes that are even the most common or the most, you know, like it's not educational in that, like it's not going to teach you how to not be caught by crime. But like, what it shows is like it's like subconsciously what society is most afraid about. That's what the stories become the most like well known. And like when true crime first began in medieval Europe, when they had the first printing press, it was about most of the stories, it was a common theme, was like wives or mothers that would kill their own children. And this was around the time of the troubles of the 1600s, where they had like overpopulation and starvation and religious wars.
So true crime is an old genre.
Oh yeah, one of the oldest genres. It's been with people ever since there was writing. And like the people who had printed books, like the clergy and whatnot, would like, by the way. The clergy would hand out pamphlets of these true crime stories as a way of scaring the people straight. And
it sounds like a very propaganda.
As a way, like it would
propaganda model.
And these stories, like they weren't even the most common crime, but it was just the most disgusting crime at the time, which was mothers killing their own children. And it was kind of about the societal fear at the time, which was overpopulation, like the war, starvation. And just the idea that this is like the depravities that humankind would sink to.
So true crime is a reflection on the fears of the culture.
Yeah, it's a reflection of what you're most scared of. And if you move to the 20th century...
So you're most scared of fucking a mum?
We'll get to that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That was not the response.
We'll get to that, Reece. No, then you get to the 20th century and you have figures like Ted Bundy. And I think what's fascinating about him is like from the outside, he was very well-spoken, upper-class, white dude, well put together. Like the sort of guy that you'd look at and be like, this is, the stand-up model citizen.
You'd, like swipe right on Tinder sort of thing.
And then like he turns out to be a total freak and a total murderer. And that's kind of like this anxiety of the time, that it's the upper class that we've like put on a pedestal, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
The spoken person.
That they're really like, actually deviant and actually out to get you. And you saw like, what's
the idea that could be like lurking behind anyone?
The LSD cult guy, the musician. What's his name?
Manson?
Yeah, Manson. Yeah, that was like around the Red Scare when it was all about the hippies and the communists.
Yeah, that was definitely like propagandary.
And you get to the 21st century, and the most popular true crime was making a murderer. And stuff like that, where like it represents the anxiety of like now what?
Like I guess you could say like Tiger King.
Yeah, like even that. Well, that's I don't know if like that really wasn't about the. Yeah, it was whatever. Like I guess you're right about Tiger King. It wasn't really about the crime. It was more about the reality TV show wackiness of that. But like when it comes to like making a murderer, it was pretty much a show about crime.
I don't really watch much true crime. But...
Yeah, well, I don't either. It's just what pops up in the popular culture,
Yeah.
And with that, it was like it represented the anxiety of like what we were most scared of as a society was the authorities like framing you as a murderer and like this could happen to anyone. This could, and that's kind of like a
so it's
an ongoing thing.
Kind of anti-establishment sort of.
It was, yeah. It was like that was what we were most scared of at that time was like police and
cops,
yeah. And I think that like that sort of boils down to with all true crimes. This could happen to anyone, and
so
Chris
Chan is like autism could happen to anyone.
Not autism, but I think social alienation because I've watched Chris Chan's story and I've seen I've studied up on the law of
oh my.
So like Chris Chan was born to kind of like elderly parents at the time. They were like in their 50s basically, and the father was even older, and very old fashioned beliefs. And Chris was a neurodivergent child, but the people, they didn't believe in psychology or anything like that, and And I think a watershed moment in Chris's life was one time he was left alone with a babysitter, and then the parents came back, and then he didn't talk for like years, and no one ever found out what was wrong with it. But
that sounds a little bit.
Yeah, but it's like kind of like the speculation is that he was sexually assaulted there, and because because he was mute and he didn't talk, he would receive like abuse from the teachers at his school, and it was actually documented, and like physical abuse, and the teachers were actually fired for that. But it was a real thing that happened, and basically Chris wouldn't talk. The only way that you could get him to talk was with his parents buying him toys, and it's kind of like a thing that snowballed in his mind.
Oh, I see.
Which became a compulsion to collect toys, which is basically to stay
explains his bedroom.
Explains his bedroom, yeah, and like as he got older, like he just kind of missed the boat on learning how to socialize and learning how to meet people. And of course, his parents were no help. Like, you know, they basically enabled him to live this life of degeneracy. Like the man went to college, got a college degree, but never got a job, and just lived off his parents until now, and lived off the state. And by the time he was old enough, his parents were both retired anyway, so he never had like a role model of anyone that was working in his life. And rather than like even being forced by his parents or like his role models at the time, he was basically let down by everyone in his life, like let down of this opportunity to learn how to socialize and learn to be a functional member of society. And that like manifested in a man who's completely unself-aware. Like if you like none of this is like he's not aware of any of this, right? He still thinks he's the shit. He's the best person in the world. He's number one.
Yeah, I just read that she, perhaps, who knows? I don't think that they are themselves the. Chris believes that he looks like a supermodel. So let's see what this supermodel. No, that's not supermodel material.
No. Oh,
this that link took me to a page called Chris and Reality.
Oh yeah. You're reading the Chris Chan wiki now.
Yeah, I've got it up. I've got it up next to me.
Yeah, and that's a good article there.
Okay,
but like I think that it represents like the fascination that people like me, but it's not just a me thing. It's a very popular internet figure that I have with him is that like it's this can happen to anyone aspect. Like all it would take for any of us to be in Chris's position was like childhood neglect and missing the boat, and the fact that our society these days like socially has become like so complicated. There's like shit you need to know if you want to be a social member.
Do you feel that perhaps one contributing factor that you could say is to people who treat this as like such a big true crime story, it really resonates with them. The idea of not being given proper lessons in socialization.
I think so, yeah.
And that could resonate with people's fear that society, modern society, not that I believe this, but as there is a certain political demographic that believe that modern society is too liberal and free with letting people be themselves, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think you're right, Reece.
Right. So
I think you're right. I think because like once again it goes into the pandering aspect where like like even the transsexual thing, which like people just buy into it and like then will like criticize you if you don't use the correct pronouns. And I think that's just so damaging because if you know the history of it, you know that this is a man who was coerced and if anything like gaslit into believing this.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I wanted to clarify the pronouns before we start because like I know trans friends of course, and I wanted to make sure that I'm not actively in the process of publicly like talking about this figure who we've never met. I don't insult anyone. So
yeah. Oh, that's another thing. That's a like people getting offended on someone else's behalf.
I mean, yeah, but it's not so much on someone else's behalf though. It's more in the sense that like if you use transphobic language, I guess, then it does offend like trans people. Like if you are like misgendering people, then that does hurt all trans people.
Yeah, I think the ones
fuck off from the cheese.
I think the ones who are misgendering him are the ones who insist to use the female pronouns because
Well,
to be
you're
honest,
the expert on this.
No, I don't want to be. I'm a Christian expert now. That's so cringe. No, well, like to be honest, I don't like. It's something that it's like so incidental to the story as well because like it's by far the least important thing.
It does have to like change the discourse though.
Yeah.
So it's. I think that like the idea of him possibly being abused, but do you think perhaps it's just too reductionist to say that? Like that is like
of course, but I'm just thinking of like I want to think about this and like why is he such an internet like fascination, you know? Because
true.
There are weirdos like this all over the world.
And
but why
it is a narrative.
Yeah,
it does give you a narrative.
It's poetic, if anything, because like so his mother was the sort of like Freud Oedipal type, right? That like always wanted to protect her baby and keep him shielded from the outside world and like be his world. So if any, it's kind of some weird, very weird, fucked up poetic justice in the end. And I don't even know if that's the right word, but just it is very poetic, you know, how this whole story ended from where it began.
Is it ended?
Well, I think that's what people are saying. The whole story was Chris trying to find a girlfriend, and he found one.
Wait, are they actually like in a consent? Well,
is it
consenting
consensus?
as you can be.
No, I don't fucking know.
Is the mum and
no,
Chris
it's-
Chan like both?
No, to make it worse, Reece, the mum is like has dementia, and it's pretty bad. Like she was taken to hospital, and Chris has been taken to jail. So
Good.
yeah. So well, like hopefully, like he's gonna not end up in jail, but in a facility where they're able to treat his mental conditions and
Yeah.
because
Try and like
well, yeah, it's just been
help him.
and like another thing that I think is like so fascinating about like coming back to the societal fears things. Like there was a time in Chris's life where he could have got his shit together, right? Like, you know, he finished college. He was like a young, like an attractive man if you like look at the photos and shit. And but then just after 20 years of like slow and constant degradation, he just like his mind decays, his body decays, and his public image decays. Whereas like, you know,
Yeah, the I mean, I think it was I was heard that some describe him as, I think it was ContraPoints in her video about I think it was trolling or something like that. Yeah, she had a very interesting video on it, and yeah, and she was basically saying that like described him as like the most documented individual in the world.
he is for sure.
Like his whole life is just so
Yeah.
documented, which is quite interesting to behold.
And
think
it's
of.
a two-way street because at the same time he overshared literally everything about his life.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Poor chap, I guess, but also not. Like that's the thing. It brings to mind the idea of
It's a really sticky one because it's like
how much is like personal responsibility. In that
I guess
case,
that's
'cause-
another reason why this is like an archetypal story, you could say, because like how much of this is his upbringing and how much is like himself being evil and
Ultimately, are we just the products of our upbringing? Is the reason why we are successful podcasters on 100th episode. Like,
it was in our genes. We were
yeah.
destined to be successful podcasters. Speaking of how successful we are, it's time to hear a word from our sponsors, Reece.
oh yes, all right, cool. Let's get a read. I'm gonna eat some cheese. Who are our sponsors? Oh,
Funny you should ask, Reece. Have you heard of a restaurant called Chicken Treat?
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you have because they're Australia's 5th most popular chicken restaurant, right after Nando's, KFC, Red Rooster, and Oporto. Top 5, baby, top 5.
Is there any more?
Is there any more? What
About Chimek? Isn't Chimek beating it?
Oh, fucking maybe. I think you're gonna fact check
All right,
me.
top
on
six,
my
top
own-
six.
Top 6. Nah,
Top
top
six.
5, baby. Top 5.
all right,
top
all
5. That's what they told me to say in the ad read anyway.
All right, cool. I
Okay.
won't
I'm just trying to get paid here. I'm just trying to get paid. So the
Appreciate the
great thing about Chicken Treat is that all these other chicken places will like pretend to be healthy, you know, pretend to be ethical and environmentally conscious. Chicken Treat don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. You know exactly what you're getting when you're walking through those doors.
I mean, sometimes I have my doubts of what I'm getting, but
And then you order it and it's exactly the same every time.
that is true. It is consistent.
It's like it's just as bad as KFC, except it's like $1 cheaper. Chicken Treat is great for any occasion, any really celebration. You can take a girl there on a Tinder date, like ironically, and if it goes badly, you can just film it for a YouTube social experiment. Chicken Treat is best enjoyed when you're too lazy to cook anything else, and it's the closest store to your house. It makes it the perfect food for degenerates.
I think
And
it is
now,
actually the closest store to my house.
Yeah, see? I know, it makes sense. That's why there's so many degenerates living in this suburb. And,
What else can we say about Chicken Treat?
I don't know, what's your favourite meal from Chicken Treat, Reece?
Honestly, I don't think I've ever bought something from Chicken Treat.
Oh, no, that's not what you're supposed to say. So my favourite...
I mean, yeah.
My favourite meal from Chicken Treat is a thing called the Spicy Boom Wrap. They had it for sale like 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and it was so good I still ask for it every single time I go to Chicken Treat.
Do they give it to you?
No, they tell me, sorry sir, this is a Chicken Treat. They tell me, sorry sir, you come here every night for the past 10 years and we still don't have a Spicy Boom Wrap.
Are you sure it was a Chicken Treat that you got from?
Oh, it definitely was Chicken Treat. I would not be wrong about Chicken Treat. And I know what you're saying at home. You may be saying, hey Aaron, but didn't that one girl die at Chicken Treat? And you know you know what I say to that? That was like 10 years ago. Get the fuck over it.
That was also coincidentally when they stocked that thing you liked.
But it was in Bunbury, so who gives a fuck? And like people probably die at McDonald's all the time, but you never hear anything about that. So some fake news media. Big McDonald's.
Big Mac.
Big
one
Mac.
would say.
Well, what do you think
we-
about our 100th episode, Reece?
I think it's pretty cool. I
Yeah?
quite liked it. Yeah, I think covers some good ground. I think we made some very good discourse, some important contributions
discourse.
to the true crime genre and Chris Chan and the reflection of society. And yeah, also it's good to get a shout out for my new and up and coming prostitution business that I'm doing.
Yep.
So-
You know where to see Reece? Tony Monroe for all of. Is that Tony Monroe on Facebook? Should I just send you a messenger?
No. Let's let's not get my God. No, please. This is
Where should I contact you
dox
for?
me on the 100th episode.
It's not even your.
They'll find a
It's
way.
your horror account.
They'll find a way.
Right.
I am my whore account.
So where should the people go if they want to hire you to fuck a hooker in front of them?
They'll find a way. They'll find it. If you really want to, then I guess you can. You can
Just start
you can
that's
ask
law of
politely.
attraction. Just start. I don't know.
Manifest it.
Yeah, manifest it. Put
See,
it in a
this is-
crystal.
I think I'm getting more on board with the manifesting thing because I joke that I hope that I don't end up like running away from some crazy dude's apartment. And what did I end
What
up
you
doing?
resist persists, Reece.
Well, yeah. What did I end up doing? We
Exactly.
were running away from this dude's
negative
apartment.
focus is still focus. You are bringing into the world what
It wasn't
even
really that
negatively
negative. I mean, we
focus.
got off early.
Well, even
so.
if you think like, oh, this is not going to happen, you're still thinking about the thing.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
But it turned out all right. It's all
Yep.
good.
I've got a few mixtapes coming out on
Yeah, plug 'em.
search Ya Boy Alaska. That's YABOY Alaska on Spotify and YouTube. You can see the videos that me and Reece made together for our art. Because we are artists, by the way. We are degenerates, but that's what we do.
And the best artists are degenerates.
So what can you expect for our 101st podcast?
Oh, I think
Where do we go from here?
I don't know. Only up.
Only up.
Only
There will
up
be
is
less
what I
Chris Chan
feel.
talk next week. I guarantee it.
That's already sounding
this
amazing.
is the first and last time.
Maybe we
Like,
can research our topics a bit.
fuck that. What? Go to uni.
I'll
Study.
try and pick up some more hoe stories or some more drama.
You got to start like just doing more irresponsible sex so you can have more things to talk about. on
I
the
really
pod.
don't. I don't need to do any more of that. I've got enough of that going on.
And also, if you want to sponsor us, then
Join the Dranks and Chicken Treat.
Yeah.
And-
And by the way, so if you've made it to the end of the podcast, I want you to
thank
put
you.
in the comment. I want you to put in the comment section. Which system should we run society by? If you put a 1 if you believe capitalism, put a 2 if you believe socialism, put a 3 if you believe alcoholism. And we'll reveal the poll at the end of next week's episode.
All right, catch you guys.
Ciao.
Thanks.
Ciao.